Welcome back, guys. Spoon Headshot here. Gonna run you through some threads. As a rogue, pretty fun. You've got a buff here at Queen Lansarek. Make sure that you stop and give it to your team. You can do this a couple times throughout the beginning, depending on your tank's pathing. You're gonna start seeing cooldowns start going out. Banish bleeds. Don't get cleaved. While we're getting up to the first boss, I want to take a moment to talk about it. It is one of the harder fights, in my opinion, for here. Definitely a pug killer. There's a couple different strategies. I think before this started, we were talking about how to do it, and they wanted, if you got the debuff with the orbs, to position yourself so that 3 of them got shot out of the little enclosure that we're forced to fight in. That way we only got to worry about 2 going through the group. I've also seen it where if you don't have the orbs, you get underneath the boss with the same strategy, but I don't think we stack under the boss for this one. We just watch where the orbs come out and try to only shoot 2 through the group, and even then you'll see that it is not an easy fight or a fun fight for that matter. We're just walking through all this trash right now. There is another projector right there. You can sneak up to it without pulling that group, and you'll see me and a couple of the DPS go and get it. But I don't think the tanks ran with a rogue before that does this, so he kind of just takes off. You get damage done, healing done, and movement speed for a couple seconds when you have it. So highly recommend you stop for it. There's another path that you can take as the tank where you go off to the right around this pillar to try to avoid the caster boss there. And then you pull the boss off down the edge of the cliff instead of trying to fight these guys. But we go straight into killing everything here. So right there's that twist thoughts mechanic. You get to see it before the fight with those orbs. All my cooldowns are back, my vanishes are back. We will be using vanish to get improved garrotes out. You want to try to chain Master Assassin by refreshing it using that vanish during the death mark. And you're seeing everything go out now. So there's those orbs. Try to shoot 3 out, and only 2 go in. After the orbs, you have to move, and you have to move quick. The purple puddle will delete you very quickly. If you drop the orbs too quick, you can kill your buddies, or you can get yourself killed. You can drop it with cloak if you need to. There's also another strategy where somebody drops theirs instantly, and you let the other one time out to give people time to react to it. We didn't talk about that strategy. All we talked about was getting to the outside of the ring to shoot 3 orbs out of the ring. So I have them here, and right there's a good example of what happens if you do it too quick. I was not ready for him to throw one at my face. I was looking at where to position, and even right there I made a mistake touching the purple slime. That perp drink, not your friend. So yeah, 3 orbs out, almost hit the mage. We start the pheromone mini boss with the queen from the beginning. You can take them both in and get a head start on getting the spies taken care of. Getting trolled by the bosses, or excuse me, the patrols there. Trolled by the patrols. Also getting trolled by the pheromone trail, making you do a complete loop to come all the way back here. But overall, I think this dungeon's not too bad once you get past that first boss. Like the spies can only be in certain spots, so you can cut off parts of the map. So I'm kind of checking to see if it heads that way, and as soon as I see that it's going this way, we know that there's 2 different spots over here. If you don't see a trail going this way at all, you can stop searching this area and just head for the next areas closer to your inside source that you gotta go talk to. mistake here. Yeah, I even see it coming. But I think in the long run, if you watch the percentages, this helps us. At the end of the fight, I think the last trash mob we kill before the boss gives us our final percentage for the run. Still in combat from that citizen. That's a bit of a unfortunate. Cooldowns go out here just before she goes invisible. As soon as she comes back, refocus and let your cooldowns and bleeds cleave down everything else while you focus the queen. There is a trick you can do with this fight. We tried to get it off, but I think the healer was a little too slow to stack up. When these bosses charge, you can charge them into the wall. That way you can keep DPSing them. As far as the mechanics here, you just avoid the AoEs and the cleaves. There's an unavoidable blue, when you get the blue arrow above your head, it's an unavoidable dagger that you can feint and or evasion. That'll do damage to you. Other than that, just make sure that you're keeping bleeds up on both targets. There's that arrow, feint goes out. And here the tank's asking for us to stack, and you can see they both target the person that wasn't stacked. So you can get them to charge into the wall and get a few more seconds of just good damage on them. Here they trade out their abilities. This is just free damage because they're going through their mechanic. But yeah, you can just sit one and make sure you've got bleeds up on the other and just go to town on them. They always come back to this spot to do their ability trade. So after the mechanic gets scuffed to try to keep them in one spot for their dashes, you hang out in this area. They always come back to it. like 90% of my health. The warrior's just running away with it. I saved my vanishes because I know there's big poles coming, and you're going to see both of them go out pretty quickly because the tank does a big pole and then chains it into another pole, so we want to keep as much bleeds going as possible. And best way to do that, easiest way to do that, is to get your indiscriminate carnage going after stealth and spread everything. So everything's bleeding here, he grabs more. You're gonna watch me vanish and get everything bleeding on that next pack. Lust goes out. I think it went out a little early. I feel like we could have grabbed another pack if we were gonna lust, but this is still fine. Everything has a bleed on it. And then you pick, if you can, you find the biggest health target. That way you can get as many chain and venoms off without having to deal with another target after that. So he chains into another pole. Last vanish is going out. Everything's getting rebled. I feel like if the warrior knew we were going to lust there, he probably would have grabbed all of them. But it still wasn't bad. Still good. I've seen lust be held for this group. And this beetle is no joke. You want to use feint, you want to save cloak for emergencies. He's got an AoE venom pulse that's going out right there, as well as swirlies that come down on the ground. Oh, and the cleave. He does it all. So I used cloak on that. I probably could have saved it. I saw that I got a big cooldown out of the healer.
I've enough of you in my collection. Be gone.
You can do a good You can help the group out pretty good on this fight. You can run around and grab 3 of the shields, 3 of the balls as they are coming towards the boss, and then cloak off that shield that gets put on you. I think you'll see me do it about halfway through this fight. Otherwise, only grab like 1 or 2 max, because it puts a shield on you that the healer has to heal through before you can start receiving heals again. If the black orbs hit the boss, then he gains a pretty big shield. So every time you grab one, you also drop a puddle. So I think there I only grabbed 2. The shield's gone. And the mechanic repeats itself. So there I grabbed 2. You can see I don't have a lot of health. But I get the healer cooldown again, so we're rolling. I think it's the next one where you'll see me grab 3 of them and I go down to almost no health, and then I cloak it off. So yeah, I got like less than 10% health. Cloak goes out and I get all my health back. Watch your swirlies here. They can be hard to see under the giant crab thing. I don't like how the tank chose to park this guy in the doorway. It's a little cramped for my liking, but we get through it. So these 2 last final mobs teach you the mechanics of the final fight here. You have to stay grouped up to get that web off of everybody so that you can start moving again. You'll see during the boss fight, it's a very mobile fight. We're always on the move. Part of the mechanic of the fight are these orbs that will target a player and then move to that last known position when you got targeted. So you have to move away constantly. If you get hit by it, you're probably dead. As well as there's also a lot of ads that'll pop out, and that web mechanic too. So you have to get the webs knocked off of you so you can get out of the way of those orbs. I'm letting Vanish recharge. When the final boss does that slam that you just saw that the beetle does, those ads will come out. Save Vanish for when the ads come out for easy bleeds to keep your energy high, so that you can keep laying into the boss. And if you saw there, we just got the percentage off that last guy. So that mistake in the middle there paid off at the end. So
Witness the glory of our ascension.
you're gonna see the 3 orbs come out, and then you're gonna start watching us move around the room to try to avoid them. It can be difficult to see because the swirly is the same color as part of the floor. So there's Vanish, and you can see all the bleed starting to go out on all the ads. You see the orbs starting to move. They're just going to leapfrog to your last known position, and this is where we stack, so we can cleave down the cocoon that goes around us. Because if you don't get out of that fast enough, when those orbs retarget you, you are gonna be dead. You will see a mistake that I make coming up here soon. That's one of them, but Cheat Death saved me. What did I do wrong? Do you see it? Have anything for it? I forgot to use Feint. You can use Feint, and probably would have stayed alive. I was at half health when that when I got hit by it, so I don't know. You can hear me saying how terrible I am. So if you do go down in this fight and you get the battle res, make sure you pay attention to where you're coming up at. I looked to make sure I was safe on coming up before taking it. And we're immediately right back into bringing her down. All the cooldowns are out again. Waiting for the back half of Kingsbane for that Shiv. And aside from that little hiccup, she goes down pretty easy. I appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one.